20x AstroSwap, first decentralized exchange for the Cardano blockchain. Is it going to get the first mover advantage? Well, that's what we're going to cover in today's video. So if you like today's content, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you don't know me by now, my name is Jiggy. I'm the award-winning author of The Extraordinary New Venture Capital Opportunity, How to Invest Like a Pro, featured in the best-selling book, High Probability Trading Strategies, back in 2008, where I used to focus on trading currencies, but now exclusive on crypto. So let's dive straight in. AstroSwap, it did its IDO on ADAPad. It did like a 500x, but it's done a nice chart pattern where it's doing a nice correction. But before we dive into the details, let's look at their promo video, because I got a feeling, when they start doing promo videos, BlueZilla's really good at marketing, really clever. They're starting to show the user interface and everything else that is looming, that they're about to go live. And once the date gets set, that's when price tends to explode. But they haven't set the exact date yet. It's just looming. So let's look at their promo video. So if I can take this back to the beginning, bump, let's get the volume up. All right, let's go for it. Let's see what they got to say with their promo video. There you have it. We can only do probabilities and never certainties, but the fact is coming soon. We know it's powered by Wagyu. Wagyu's got a brilliant DEX on the Valas blockchain, so it's proof of concept. We can trust those guys. I'm using that blockchain, Valas, and their DEX and the staking is really healthy. But we can look at Wagyu as a case study to say, hey, what's likely to happen when the date gets announced, the official hard date to say AstroSwap's going live, then the staking rewards, the LP rewards to, incentivize liquidity to come to the protocol, and then what likely is to happen with the price action. So let's now just dive in. So, one of the things right now with with Astro is they've got staking rewards, APY, and if you stake before the 31st of October, they're going to double your reward. So good on you if you started to stake your AstroSwap tokens before. And it's ranging between, right now at 56%. It changes daily based on sales tax and everything else, sales volume. But it's been averaging around 100, 110, 120, 130% APY. Let's look at CoinGecko. It's currently 19 cents, so it's running at a good discount. Well, let's look at the all-time high. All-time high was 52 cents, so 63% down. So we're going to look at some technicals in a second. Market cap is 46 million. So this is important, right? This is what we want as a clue, right? So we're going to have the pancake swap or the Uniswap. Uniswap's probably going to be a better comparison because Cardano is on a different level to Valas, right? It's been around for longer, more building, more bigger community, more hype. Top. But where is Cardano now? Let's have a look. Cardano as a token in itself, is it top 5? Cardano is number 6, right? Number 6 with a 51, almost $52 billion market cap, Cardano in itself. And what we want to look at when we're looking at, the comparisons, if you look at Uniswap today, it's been as high as $22 billion market cap, and PancakeSwap's been as high, I think it's like nearly 10 billion market cap, but currently it's around 4 to 5 billion. But let's just go to 1 billion, right? Has AstroSwap got a high probability of hitting $1 billion market cap? Well, if today's market cap is 46 million, let's just call it 50 million. Then the multiple is 20x, right? We said 20x. So it's a nice conservative projection. Now, if it matches PancakeSwap, which I think it will over time, when more and more projects launch on Cardano, because the smart contract went live in September. So we're expecting a lot of projects, especially with ADAPad and a lot of things now coming into fruition. It's going to be quite exciting to see how this all comes together. So I said 20x at the beginning. It's based on this number, $1 billion market cap, from 50 million is a comfortable 20x. Is it going to be higher? I think so, but maybe not straight away. So what we're going to finish on today is technicals, right? You know I love technicals, and we do Fibonacci and Elliott wave, and we look at probabilities and never certainties. So we're going to pull up AstroSwap. So I've been watching this really, really closely, and I've been trying to time when to bring this to you because we don't want to bring it too soon. Ideally, we want to bring it just before it pops, right? Before it takes off. We want to get on the train before it takes off. And I think based on the advertisement, that video that I just showed you, the promo, I think it was released yesterday. They're starting to show the user interface. It's partnered with Wagyu and a few other things. So what I'm seeing here is a nice wave 1 and a wave 2. Nice, simple, clean. What's the case study? Now, it hasn't been confirmed yet, wave 2, but this is what we're seeing. Right? If you're familiar with my Elliott wave Fibonacci analysis, you'll see that 60, 70, 80% of the time, it just pans out perfectly, but always keep in mind, we can only do probabilities and never certainties. And if you want to learn how to do this, take my free Elliott wave and Fibonacci masterclass. It's in the link below. I've simplified this so you can get the high level thinking. But what I want to show you next, I'm going to come back to this in a second, is Wagyu, right? Wagyu. I'm just checking it back because I did a video on Wagyu on this, and I said this. If you go back to I think it was in September 12th, I said, look, Wagyu's done this nice price movement up. And what I said at this point was we should anticipate a correction under 30 cents, just going by Fibonacci and Elliott waves and ratios, and it did. And then what I did next, and you can go back and check this out, right? Because I'm going to do the same for AstroSwap. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. Again, it's just highly probable. We're going to measure this low to this high, what we're calling a wave 1, and then we're going to project some numbers forward from this wave 2 low. I'm just going to draw this out because I want you to really, really see this. So there's two things here. I'm going to have to make sure I might have to do that again. Did those numbers come up? Yeah, they came up. They came up. This is what I'm looking at. So what we're looking at here is I'm going to draw it like this because I'm going to do the same for AstroSwap. And I want to do it like this because most people don't get this. And again, if you want to learn some of the basics, I cover the core foundation. And then I got some courses that covers in a bit more detail. And if you take one of my courses, you also get an invite to my private Telegram. So what I was saying here is it looks like Wagyu. This is Wagyu, by the way, but we're going to use it as a case study. A case study. Keeping in mind that Wagyu is powering AstroSwap, right? So, they're going to keep it simple, clean, easy user interface, something that people are used to. But what we normally anticipate with Elliott wave and Fibonacci is a wave 1, wave 2, and then a wave 3 typically goes to a minimum of 1.618 of wave 1, and then a typical maximum of 2.618, which is this green line here. And what happened with Wagyu? Well, I'm gonna narrate it here because I want you to see this, how powerful this is. And we did this ahead of time, not in hindsight. Right now it's hindsight, but with AstroSwap, we're gonna do it ahead of time. What's highly probable based on probability, human psychology, and what's likely to occur. So let's just do it like this. Look what happened with Wagyu, right? Look at this. It smashed its way up to the 1.618. Look at that, right? Beautiful, right? So you can see it went to this 1.618. It went from around 22 cents to around $1.60 in a matter of a couple of weeks. Not even a couple of weeks. What was this? This was 12th of October to the 13th. Yeah, so it's a couple of weeks, just over a couple of weeks. Boom, right? And it found some resistance here. But then the DEX wasn't even live yet. The DEX wasn't even live. This was more based around when the DEX was announced. Let me just get rid of this. I want to get this across because most people miss this. So the DEX was announced here. The date was announced. And then it caused this surge, this demand. And then the actual date that went live, I believe it was roughly around here. And then there was a second surge, right? But look how beautiful this is. Ahead of time. It's like magic, right? It's like magic that it went to this 1.618, got some resistance, DEX went live, and it did a next price surge to this 2.618. And it went to $2.40 from 20 cents. What's that? That's like a 10, 12x, 11, 12x, right? So now what I want to do, and now after a correction, it tends to form. And what ended up being the wave count was a 3, 4, 5, right? It ended up being a 4 and a 5 wave count. Very, very important to note. So now what we're looking at, AstroSwap, is a very similar scenario, very similar. So what we can do is, it's already gone beyond the typical time zones. These are time retracements, typical time zones for a correction. It's gone beyond the typical extreme, but we are in this price retracement zones. These are typical corrections, and I'm going to do the same thing for like we did with Wagyu. I'm just going to remove these just so we clean up the chart. Keep it nice and clean. This 78.6%, I'm just going to get rid of that so we can keep it nice and clean. Because I think is set to go, man. It's set to go. The train or the rocket is set to go. It's inevitable. Highly probable, but just know it's we can only do probabilities. We can never have certainties. Once you know you got certainties, then it's when you lose. It's when you lose. So I've said, I'll put a question mark here to say, look, it looks like a wave 1, wave 2. Wave 3s, I think I did it earlier. I might do it again though. Let's just have a look. Yeah, I did it here. Just going to zoom it in like this. Right, hopefully that's clean enough for you to see. Let me just do it a bit more like this. Right, so what we anticipate, if it pans out like Wagyu, this is Wagyu, right? Wagyu was a DEX for the Valas blockchain, so it's a really clean case study. And what Wagyu did is they just announced some amazing LP rewards, like 100,000%. So people managed to double their tokens in a few days, which was brilliant. Single staking, which is still really, really healthy with Wagyu, and now they're introducing different single staking. Like I think they're announcing Scar. Scar goes live today on Wagyu. Today is UK time. It's just come up to 9 a.m. On the 1st of December. And Scott, I think it's 6 p.m. UK time, I think, which is the same as UTC time. But what we're anticipating is there's 1.618 as a minimum, but it'll probably do something similar. And keeping in mind that Cardano is a much more popular blockchain than Valas. So don't be overly surprised if it overextends. Crypto is, it's very known for doing these overextensions, but we want to have these price targets where you should consider becoming risk-free. I love becoming risk-free at 3x, 4x, or a 5x, depending on the project itself. So today's price right now is just under 20 cents right now, and we're talking about 1.618 is just over $1, and 2.618 is around $1.50. $1.50. So from today's price, what is that? It's 5, 6, 7, 7x, give or take. But the grand scheme of things, right? 20x is, what's that? $4, right? $4 to get to a $1 billion market cap, give or take, because obviously they're going to be releasing more tokens when they do their staking rewards, etc. But what typically will tend to happen in something like this, it might obviously pan out a bit differently, but I'm just going to give you a rough, how human psychology tends to pan out. Another correction, and then it will turn, wave 5s in crypto tend to be the overextended wave. So it might be like this, or it might do this with a bit more of a deeper correction, and then like the next leg of the movement like this. That's typically what happens. But rather than looking too far out into the future, what I like to do is just look out, right, what's likely to happen next with what we're concerned with right now. And I go, the next thing that AstroSwap I'm focused on is these two price targets here. Projects due to go live. It's powered by Wagyu, which means they're going to have, a similar business model in the terms of attracting new customers by providing liquidity, LP tokens, and everything else. But there you have it. AstroSwap, it's a powerhouse. They're going to keep it a nice, simple, easy user interface. It looks like it's going to be, a fork of PancakeSwap, WagyuSwap. Wagyu is like, people are used to Uniswap. People are used to PancakeSwap. Now people are getting used to WagyuSwap. It's the same. If you know how to use PancakeSwap, you know how to use WagyuSwap. So one of the big problems when you're launching new projects is the learning curve of how to learn how to use it. So it's actually good practice just to keep it the same. And you'll see that's quite common in crypto. But these are the next two things. Well, so what do you think of AstroSwap? Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Let me know, are you staking your AstroSwap? Are you going to buy some AstroSwap? And what's your plan? Because once it gets announced, this is what tends to happen, right? Because the past doesn't necessarily tell you what's going to happen. Like, it's not the same, but it tends to rhyme. It tends to be similar. So once they announce the date, they might say something like, AstroSwap, the fixed date is, mainnet is 10th of December. Then you'll see a massive price surge, and then you'll see a bit more of a calm down. And then when it goes live, massive price surge. Make sure you're looking to get risk-free. Then there'll tend to be a correction because a lot of people are going to make a lot of profits. And then it will tend to have its next leg. So you want to kind of look into that as well. Today's quote, I'm going to keep it simple. It's the one that I'm advocating the most. we can only do probabilities and never certainties. That allows you to know that anything can happen. It should force you to know anything can happen. Price can shoot up, but even though AstroSwap is looking great and looking healthy, it's the possibly has the first mover advantage on the Cardano blockchain, one of the most popular blockchains that's been building for like what 5 years, 5 years, and now the smart contract has just gone live in a couple of months ago in September. So we go, okay, and it's backed by the BlueZilla team. You got ADAPad, which is going to be launching a lot of projects. Currently, they're launching them on PancakeSwap, the token generation events, but eventually they're going to go into AstroSwap. So we know that whole ecosystem is going to be working very, very healthily together. I believe swaps is going to be the main cross-chain bridge. So they're going to be able to get your stables across to the Cardano blockchain. It's going to be very easy, very simple, very smooth. So the probability looks like it's likely this year, next 30 days, I wouldn't be overly surprised if the AstroSwap market cap gets to $1 billion, which is roughly around a 20x, right? If it matches PancakeSwap, you're talking about 80x, give or take, 80 to 100x. And if it matches Uniswap, well, we're talking about another 3x on top of that. It's like a 300x, 304, 500x potential. And the word is potential. But that's why you look to get risk-free at around a 3x, 4x, 5x, 6x, whatever your kind of business plan is. There's pros and cons to each of them. But using Fibonacci and Elliott waves, it allows you to see what's the high probability price targets before we're going to see the next kind of correction. And if you want to take my free Elliott wave Fibonacci masterclass, it's in the link below. I've worked incredibly hard to simplify it. So even when you're watching my videos or you're looking at charts, you can see what's likely to occur next. All right, have a great week. I don't even know what day it is. I lose track of days, and I'm just fixed in crypto. I'm on crypto morning, evening, night, afternoon. I got a lot of my Telegram group are in Australia, they're in India, they're in the UK, they're in the US. So I love you guys. And it's like we're trying to make sure we're catering for everyone. And I'm just on this game, especially now that we're moving into what I see as the last 20% of the bull run, 20, 30% of the bull run. But that's where 80% of the money's made, right? And now is the time. You've been working hard this whole year, whatever your portfolio has been doing. Now is the time to stay sharp, to stay focused, because we're going to see some amazing launches, amazing projects. Metaverse is a big deal. These blockchains are now moving to the next level, like Cardano smart contracts. The first DEX is going to kind of move everything to the next level. Now it's to stay sharp, pounce, don't lose focus. 3 to 6 months, I think we got, of some really prime time action to happen. And we'll just keep a very close eye on the market. All right, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I appreciate you. I'll see you soon.